Welcome to Champion Your Culture, the podcast, a weekly live show where we explore the power of culture and leadership in business. I'm Ryan McCarty.
And I'm George Rogers, and we go live every week to learn from each other and hear from other experts about how to effectively champion our team members and ourselves. So join us live every Wednesday on our social networks or subscribe. You can listen to Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Now, let's champion your culture.
Yo, 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 we are back on a Wednesday.
We are back and better than ever together. Back and better than ever together.
Back and better together forever.
Forever, ever?
Forever, ever, forever, ever.
Welcome to Champion Your Culture, the podcast with Ryan McCarty. I am George Rogers, and we're so glad to be with you here today. As always, we are sponsored by Culture Good, and I'm excited to see you, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I mentioned last week, I think, that I was dealing with kind of post-COVID stuff.
Yeah.
And I was quarantined last week.
You're in the hut of your house. Wife didn't let you, stay in the room. You had in the basement.
I know.
In the corner. I know that area pretty good. You're like at the stairwell where they can hear you.
Right.
But don't want to be seen.
And now it's like, I'm so used to post-COVID. Now I'm back to like, we went, during COVID, we were staying really far away from each other. Then it was like we were starting to get closer and closer. Now I'm back to hugging everybody. Yeah. So I'm like, I gotta be careful for a second. For a heartbeat, I gotta be like, I can't be too loving in the world. I'm sorry, Shannon. Big shout out, Shannon, on our Culture Good team. We love you. I can't love people that much until I know for sure I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, the worst thing that happened is that somebody gets a 5-day vacation in bed.
Well,
hopefully nothing. Yeah, but it was, I forgot, and we naturally just hug each other. It's like, I just got out of COVID. It's always that weird feeling, right? So when you give your first hug and then somebody says, I really missed you last week at work, Ryan. Where were you at?
Right.
And they're like, oh.
Yeah, after I already
they don't love you as much anymore after you tell them why you were
Well, yeah, man.
It's like,
you came into camp with a disease and we have to get rid of you.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm feeling really good. Awesome. And how about you?
I'm doing good. I am anxiously awaiting the final move. So we're living here, but not living here. The stuff is still in Tennessee, waiting to be shipped and put into the house. And so we're in that process of irritation excitement. Have you ever had irritating excitement where you're really excited about something, but you're irritated in the process of it?
Or you're excitedly irritated?
Yeah, like it's like getting a promotion at work. Right. You get a promotion at work, but you're irritated because that promotion came with more work.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't a promotion. It was like, hey, we're going to pay you because you're doing more stuff.
That's what it's like back in the day when I was doing janitor work. They're like, you don't want this many keys.
Yeah.
It looks like I have access to all the doors. Exactly. You don't want access to all the doors. I give you access to all the doors. That's more responsibility. Yeah, for sure.
Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility.
There you go.
We got the power, my friend. We got the power.
I got the power.
I hope y'all are all having a good time. As always, please like, share, subscribe. If you find the content that we give you beneficial, whether it's to your life or to your workplace, we really do this for the people. There's, our benefit.
We do this for the people.
The people. The benefit for us is that we get to connect with people and our desire and our love for people to champion them, to champion their culture within their workplace. This is really why we do it. So continue to share. Spread the community, spread the champion community with your community. And so we want to do that we got social media now. We haven't mentioned it in a couple of weeks, but find us LinkedIn. We have a LinkedIn. We'll put it in the chat, but connect with us, whether it's LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. We want to connect with you, whatever platform you choose. Or if you're listening to us on Spotify, Google Play, Apple, wherever you are, we appreciate you for who you are, where you are, why you are, what you are.
Yeah, it's for real, because we know a lot of people are jumping on with us every week are the kind of people that like people. Yeah. And they got into business many times because it was like, ooh, I get to work with people. Yeah. And then we realized with people come realities, problems, situation, issues, quirks, ideas, personalities, different ways of seeing the world. And there's a lot of complexities with leading people. Anytime you get people involved in anything, it's messy.
Oh yeah. There's always gonna be challenges. We're all different.
Yeah.
And we're all at a different stage of our life. And although we have a heart to do some similar things, nothing's perfect. Right. You've been married, what, 25 plus years, 26 years, right?
20.
Is it 26? Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Something.
19, going on 19.
No, 26, 27, something like that.
I believe it's 26 in February. I don't know. But anywho, it's nothing's perfect in that ship, right? There's always going to be some roughing in the ocean type of things. There's another joke that just popped in my head, but we'll keep it HR friendly because that's not part of the.
It's HR friendly.
Yes, HR crazy.
A little
shit
bit HR crazy shit.
Yeah, and so maybe we'll put that story in our crazy shit. But anywho, there's always something going on in whatever type of ship you're in, business ship or friendship or relationship, and because we're all different, the goal is to work together by communicating, being honest, trusting, some of the things. I don't want to get too far ahead, but these are some of the things we're going to be talking about today that you need in your ships. You need some of those.
In a reality that we face in a team environment. Within that, it works the same way in any other type of relationship, right? So if it takes effort for me to be married for 26 years, and it by far took a lot more effort for Qatar than it did me. I can promise you
who took the most?
Oh yeah, absolutely. but the reality is, for us to be in relationship, it requires intentionality. It requires us to create environments where we know we can connect, right? Where we have the ability to foster deeper connection, right? So there's times that we know that we're going to connect at work, but also if we want to connect on a deeper level, we might go out after work and just hang out, or maybe we go to a sporting event, or maybe we go and spend an afternoon with our team and, head off to the park or whatever it is. Those are opportunities within new environments to foster deeper relationships. And we need this more and more because, as we're talking about this today with fostering collaborative teams and powerhouse teams, when we talk about powerhouse teams, we want to look at that in the sense of what are effective teams? What are those teams that are getting shit done and they're doing it well, but after all is said and done, they haven't burnt themselves out to get it done, right? Like, what are the teams that are working really effectively so that when all is said and done, the project is complete, but they're not worn out to the end, right? So we have the ability to foster environments. And I was talking about how companies and leaders need to think in terms of not just how do I create engagement with our company, but how do I foster collaborative engagement between peers? So how am I as a leader looking at my team or teams and fostering opportunity for my team members to collaborate, to work together, to cross function, to learn from one another, to discover each other's strengths, to know each other really well. The more a team knows each other well, the better they play together. You know what I'm saying? It's like at the end of a season, you can watch Ohio State. I know you're a Ohio State fan, and hopefully Notre Dame shows a little bit better of an effort this year.
They'll show. At least they'll show up.
They'll always show effort, right?
They'll show.
They'll show.
How long can they show?
Yeah, we need more than the luck of the Irish and touchdown Jesus to get us over the hump. But you can see it throughout a season. The longer a team works together and the longer they practice collaboration. So the thing with a lot of times in business is we're not in the mode of practicing anything. So we're not creating environments where people are practicing collaboration. And then when projects happen, that's not when to start teaching collaboration. We don't learn how to function as a team when it's game time. We learn how to function as a team when it's practice. Because when it's game time, I have to be game ready. And our teams are not game ready because we're not practicing collaboration. So we're frustrated and saying this shit doesn't work. And I'm trying to get them to collaborate and my team doesn't know it. And then we're frustrated with one or two of them because, well, we were talking about earlier, they're the weakest link on the team when it could be they're the strongest link, but they're looking around at everybody else and they're like, to hell with this. I'm not putting any effort in.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, when it comes to winning together, and you mentioned some stuff that it's football season for us, so we're really excited, for college and for the NFL season be kicking off. And one of the things I always think about when it comes to winning together and winning seasons, and a lot of coaches use the same analogy or quote, is that championships are not won on Saturdays or Sundays.
Right.
Championships are won Monday through Friday. It's the grind, it's that push, it's the weightlifting, right? It's that exercise, the practice of challenging your peers, both on the offense and the defensive side, and even in business. Some of those strategies that we have to do. What is our offense? What is going to move us forwards, right? The offense, the sales, and things of that nature. What's the defense, right? The things that can hurt our business. How do we prepare for those things, and what are we doing? And so having that daily conversation, and practicing, right, those things.
What are we practicing?
And developing those key principles that you need. And we could talk about some of the practices, that we do, even in our leadership development with some of the soft skill trainings that we do, practicing on how to handle conflict.
But how internally. Do you, like when you're looking at it in a business and you see a team that's not collaborating, what do you see?
I mean, naturally, when somebody's not collaborating, I look at leadership, I look at the team, and how's
the team working? Right.
Yeah. Right. There's a lot of disunity. And there's no work together. It reminds me of individual sports where there's a team, right? Tennis, for instance. You have a tennis team, but unless you're playing partners, pairs, that's an individual that adds up to points.
Yeah.
Right. And so golf, another, great example. Your school goes against another school in golf, but really it's just you versus you
out there on the field. But you also know you've practiced with coaches and teammates, and it requires a team to get there. But
you can look together.
But that's what happens, right? Like if you don't have a collaborative team, I'm seeing a bunch of egos.
Yeah.
I'm seeing people that can't work together because they don't know each other's strengths.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing people that assume the weakest link is the weakest link because they don't know what that person can bring to the table because they've never considered it.
Yeah.
And so, if the sooner you get to a space where you're practicing collaboration, whatever that looks like, that's why I love the culture of good, because what you're doing when you're going out and you're having these events and giving back and doing good, you're giving people opportunities to practice collaboration and team building as they go out to do good in the community.
Yeah.
So not only are you giving back and doing good and making an impact externally, you're also building a team dynamic. It's just interesting because as you go through a football season or you go through any type of sport, I was watching, one of my favorite sports right now is women's soccer.
Yeah.
I love it. And the women's team, FIFA World Cup, they got all the way. We were, I forget who we were playing, Sweden. And it got down to the kicks, and I'm like, it's right down to the end, and they lost in the penalty kicks. And the penalty kicks is when it's one person against the goal, the goalie. And that's different than when the entire team's out on the field, working as a team.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you have one person always, they're the one that's the central focus shooting the ball and it's all on their shoulders, that every fan and personality and person was looking at them.
Yeah.
But when the game was going on and when they were collaborating as a team, you could see how good they really got throughout the season. They didn't start as good as they ended.
Right.
And I think when we work with teams, we have to understand that teams, as we practice this together, we get better together.
Yeah.
We get better at this, but collaboration requires a lot of practice.
Yeah.
Requires a lot of time getting to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't collaborate with you if I don't know you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Got to get to know the people.
Got to know.
So let's dive into, you want to, before we go a little bit further in this, with the strategy,
craziest shit in HR.
Yeah, let's hit crazy. We're starting off strong right now, so let's hit it right now and halfway mark through this podcast today. This, ladies and gentlemen,
is craziest shit in HR, brought to you by the Culture of Good. All right, George, you're gonna love this one, man. I don't know if you can handle this. All right, Karen. It starts with S.
Oh,
Karen. Again, I'm getting a lot of these from anti-work on Reddit. This is according-sugar-520. Karen wants to talk to a manager because she doesn't think people are related to each other. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. I work at a cemetery. Some Karen came in complaining that there are 3 cremains buried in one space, and the names on the headstones are all different. She isn't related to anyone buried there and doesn't know anyone who is. She doesn't own the grave, and she also didn't pay for the headstone. She was walking through the cemetery and is demanding we pull records to prove the people buried in this grave are related to each other. Otherwise, she says they can't be buried together. We told her people can be related and have different names or even bury friends with them, and she is now demanding to speak to a manager. Welcome, Karen, to every damn business on earth. And my friends, that is the craziest shit in HR, brought to you by Culture.
So
I don't know, man. I guess we can't be buried together, George.
I'm over here thinking like, mind your, I'm going Kevin Hart, mind your business. Like,
mind your damn business. That's how you want to tell people sometimes.
Say it with your chest, with a white chair beside you. If you don't know anything about that, August 5th is now a national holiday.
Shout out.
Shout out to August 5th, national holiday. Black Aquaman down in Montgomery, Alabama. But anywho, like you're walking in somebody else's property, number one.
Yep.
You're walking on somebody else's gravestone, which my grandma would always smack that.
Oh man.
Like she would smack any part of hell that was left in my body has been smacked out between Deborah Beasley and Loretta Mary.
Oh man, I would have ended up being buried with them.
Yeah. Like there are certain things you don't step on the headstones, don't step. You had to walk a certain way around. So anyway, there's some pet peeves in my you feel the passion about this. And then I'm thinking, who are you to put another family through your own chaos?
I mean, that's
like
just
it doesn't
what
even,
it is,
like
man.
Mind your business.
Here's the problem. Some people don't have any.
Yeah.
If
so they're trying to find your business.
Yeah, exactly. If somebody's finding themselves in your business, it's because they ain't got no business.
At all. Well,
strategies.
That was there. We can talk to some cemeteries about how to deal with conflict of Karens out there. At some point, there's got to be a different name. Like I feel bad, and I just want to say all the Karens out there that are not Karens.
Yeah.
Our heart goes out to you.
But there's a good chance that you are a Karen. So
if you are Karen,
just how it works. But we love all you Karens. I'm kidding. No, we have Karens that listen. And I would imagine there's far more than Karens out there. But strategies, because we have a few minutes left, and we want to talk about how to build these powerhouse collaborative teams.
Yeah.
It's not always easy because what you mentioned earlier is we have a lot of differences between team members, worldviews, politics, religion, culture, race, it could, gender, there's all types of intersections. And when we intersect our intersections with others' intersections, it's like a massive intersection happening every time we're building a team. Within business, we realize that business is no different in terms of building any other team. We have a goal, we have objectives, we have to practice. What we're practicing, though, is the plan. And I think one of the biggest things when we talk about strategy is we need to launch a collaborative type strategy. So when we look at our strategies in general, how are they collaborative, right? How are they fostering a sense of common purpose? I think that's number one. We have to look at our strategies already and say, how do we add collaborative environments and experiences for our team members to practice this?
And I saw this today, shout out to, and I'll give credit to Quantum Workplace. I've been working with their team and talking to them about some things. And one of the things that they just said in their research that they're doing, as well as that 1 in 3, we're talking about for the beginning stages, like I said earlier, communication is important, the importance on it. When it came to communicating and collaborating strategies, one of the things that they said, and I believe they posted it today, 1 in 3 employees have weekly one-on-ones, communication with their managers, and they prefer it that way. Right. And so, and then they also have quarterly, at least quarterly growth one-on-ones. Those people who do that are 2.4 times more engaged, 4 times more likely to say that their career growth and development opportunities in the organization are impacted by that. And so when we talk about the strategies for crafting collaborative powerhouse teams, the foundation, like part of that foundation is communicating. How do we communicate? What does communication look like to you? Because what communication looks like to you may be different from me. And so I may need weekly. You may say I need monthly. Right. And then there's some that says, you know what, bi-weekly, so on and so forth, quarterly. And then there's that, hey, we got to at least stay connected, right? We got to at least communicate, fellowship.
Well, the problem is we're not communicating enough. You know, like we're not even clearing up what we're supposed to be doing. So as leaders, we're not communicating, but we're asking other people to communicate. So it's like, we have to have that clear, we have to create clear communication, but we have to be first to foster that culture of trust by saying, all right, here's what you need to know, why you need to know it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, we're not prioritizing the things that enable our team to collaborate. To your point, communication is a huge one.
So communication is good, but to your point, you got to have trust. Like, you can talk all you want to, but whether or not I trust anything that's coming out of your mouth is a difference. Well, we talked about why people, the last 2 weeks, we talked about why people are leaving and what you can do to help them stay. The trust is a tricky thing, because the problem with some businesses, and we've seen this a lot, is that you start a program, you start, this new thing, and it does not last. There's no longevity to it. You roll out something and it doesn't go past phase 1 or phase 2. And then your employees get burnt out, not necessarily on the business, but on the thought of, here comes another rollout. Well, because nothing lasts. And so I lose trust whenever you say, hey, this is something exciting we're going to do. Everybody in the break room is saying, oh, here this goes again. Let's see how long this one lasts, right? And then you have an over-under of how long this is going to last. And so to your point, trust is important, because if employers are not buying in to the change, for instance, you want to have leadership development done in your organization, you want to have culture impact work done in your organization, you bring Ryan out, whatever it may be, right, to inspire and motivate you to do the good that we come out and do, but there's no buy-in because the words have really been a void. Trust is a tricky thing to gain back. It can be possible, but it's not as easy as you once had it. When I joined the team and you gave me all these core values and mission statements and everything's on the wall, and we got cool t-shirts, we get pizza every third Friday. And then we realized everything else was BS. And we're not moving in the direction that we speak. Then how do you gain those people back? Because communication is important. Probably next to that communication, just as important, or probably more important, is being able to trust your employees, and not just your employees, but also your leaders.
I mean, you have to give people opportunity to, I think overall we're always communicating. So it's not that it's that we're not really communicating what we want to communicate. And because of that, we're communicating in a way that's not productive. So we're communicating that these people aren't necessary on the team if they're not important enough to know this information. See what I'm saying? So you're communicating something by that. You're essentially telling them that their contribution doesn't matter and that they're not a meaningful part of the overall. And so when we talk about communication, what we're saying is open communication. We're saying to get people to trust you more, get them talking out, like, let's talk. Right. Let's, as leaders, as we've talked about, let's us be vulnerable and let's show what collaboration looks like. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times our team is not collaborative. The most collaborative teams, whether it's in sports or business or whatever industry or vertical you're in, the most collaborative teams have the most collaborative leadership. If you don't have a collaborative team, you don't have a collaborative leader. If you don't have a team of trust, you don't have a leader who trusts.
Yeah.
You have to have a leader who knows how to foster this kind of thing.
Yeah.
You have to have a leader who actually likes people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's
leaders
that like the title of their job and responsibility, but not the importance and the value of what it means to lead people, because it's truly an honor.
Roles and responsibilities.
Yeah.
It's not like roles.
Yeah.
Roles and responsibilities. And guess what? Every role has a different list of responsibilities. And if you're a leader, I'm going to speak to frontline management, because that's really where there's a lot of that culture breakdown, and a lot of the breakdown with getting what we need in a collaborative team is once we start to build the leadership of our team, it gives us the opportunity then as leaders to foster this in ourselves. So we have to start asking ourselves first, not how do I build a collaborative team? How do I start to show collaboration for my team? How do I do that?
Right.
How do I foster it?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Instead of saying like, you all need to collaborate.
Yeah. I got everybody together. Then y'all just communicate with each other and figure this stuff out. What are some of the strategies? Let's get into the meat of this, because we talked about communication, we talked about trust. What are some other strategies, when it comes to relational leadership aspect of things, right? We talk about those things, and one of the things that I always think about is how do you leverage that diverse strategy, right? The diverse strengths of different people, not necessarily just diverse from a race standpoint or even a gender standpoint, but even some cultural differences, right? That kind of come into play from even a worth ethic diversity, right? Some people are like boom, boom, boom. Some people want to pace too much, fast-paced stuff can cause anxiety. So how do you balance a lot of those different things? Because we can discuss the benefits of assembling, different teams and people together. What are some other things when it comes to setting these clear expectations, creating that culture, and having them foster that potential? What are some other strategies that goes along with winning together? Because our biggest thing is,
real quick. Number one, get out of the damn way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of times when we see ourselves as a leader, we think we're the ones directing everybody and how we're doing it, what we're doing, when we're doing it, why we're doing it. Why not set a map out and say, this is where we are, and this is what the project looks like, and these are the objectives and goals, and this is where we're going. Yeah. And as a team, let's create a plan and a strategy.
Spit it out. Get out of the Get it out of your mouth. Get out of the way.
Strategy to get there. As a team, we build the plan, and then we practice the plan, and we go step by step. But before we embark on this journey together, each one of us looks at the plan and says, what in our strengths and values and time and talent, treasure and testimony do we believe that we can contribute meaningfully, intentionally to the team? So everybody hears it from the beginning, so that when we start to work the project, we're game ready. Right? Because we're practicing the plan. So we have clear expectations, we have clarity around the plan, and we've built the plan with the team, rather than just saying, you're the team to make it happen. Here's the plan. Now go do it and try to collaborate. And I'll send you some videos on collaboration off of YouTube. Yeah. It's like, come on, y'all.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. So again, a sports analogy, you're saying get out the damn way. The coach and the team is together with the game plan, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, walk through, right? Every team does a walkthrough of the game plan. If they do this, this is how we're going to adapt. If this happens, this is what we're going to do. But this is what we're structured to do as we move forward and get there. And then when it comes time for the game, the coach ain't on the floor, the coach ain't on the field. Yeah. He's coaching and supporting, encouraging, right? Disciplining. Hey, did you see what you did wrong there, right? Still having that structure, accountability within the workplace of saying, hey, this is not what we planned or practiced. Tell me why you did what you did. What did you see that I did not see?
Right.
Because sometimes when we're active, we do things because it's reactional. We saw something that happened or was countered. And so you have to adapt to that. So when you adapt, there's accountability.
But that's the thing. There's no agility in a team that's not collaborating.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. So when there's a mistake, it throws everything off.
Yeah.
If one person is a weakest link and they make a mistake and the whole project is thrown off, the reason projects get thrown off by one person's mistake is because it wasn't part of an overall plan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like there's no collaboration. When there's collaboration, than when there's individual people that may fall or make a mistake, or maybe not make the right decision or choice, or get off track, or maybe they're slacking a little bit with the team itself. And we can see it throughout, again, sports or anything else. The team, what do? We lift each other up.
Yeah.
You know, we need to foster that kind of relational leadership within business, rather than when someone's struggling, we just cut them off and get rid of them. And there's no wonder why we don't have a loyalty from our team members to our company, because companies don't have a loyalty to the team.
Yeah.
So when we have a loyalty to the team and we build collaborative teams and we're intentional about how we're building those, it creates an opportunity for us to really have a team that is that powerhouse team. There's more strategies. We'll keep talking about this in the weeks to come, man. But I'm really excited because the next few Wednesdays, we're going to be digging into like really fostering the team dynamic. And this is huge, because when teams win, organizations win.
Yeah.
And when organizations win, hopefully we have individuals that can rise up to the potential that we start to see in them, and they buy in and really contribute meaningfully and find a sense of purpose in their everyday work, man.
Yeah, when you're practicing that, you have that collaborative mindset, culture, the impact. When we talk about things, and we have a new research is coming out Thursday, and one of the things that we talk about is that although we're saying performance, engagement, culture, enablement, it's really culture impacts engagement. And engagement is what really increases the performance of your employees. When you have the collaborative mindset within your culture, it impacts the team's performance. It impacts the winning environment, right?
Yeah.
There's a difference between winning culture and losing culture, right? The lack of discipline, the lack of follow through,
collaboration.
Right?
Let's just focus on that.
And collaboration.
Win and lose. Collaborate.
Exactly.
Don't collaborate. Collaborate. Don't collaborate. Win or lose.
And the goal at the end of the day, as I like to say,
and
I've been speaking this. There was a gentleman that was part of the end days of our retail, and we had this conversation about you're only as good as your weakest link, and really the concept came out, and the quote then we started teaching and speaking in our stores is that we win together, never lose alone.
We win together.
Win together, never lose alone. So no matter what happens, if you lose, we lose.
Yeah.
Right. So there's no individual losses here. If you fail, I failed, right? Because we're one. So the message of, hey, we're not just collaborate and then you're off on your own doing this thing. When you collaborate, that collaboration is becoming a unified effort to where whatever happens to you happens to me. It's that when you cry, I cry. When you laugh, I laugh.
That's
like I want to celebrate with you. And if you're mourning, I'm a mourn with you. Right. And so win together, but never lose alone.
Win together, never lose alone. That's what we want for you. We want you all to win, and we're going to win together.
Yep.
Right. And never lose
alone.
That's it, man.
That's it.
That's it.
We want to thank everybody for joining us this week on Champion Your Culture, again, sponsored by Culture Guild. We appreciate everybody for your time. We do not take it for granted. We appreciate the time that you give us. If you're watching live, we appreciate that just as much as those who are catching us later on at the workday, on your drive, maybe you're in the office or on vacation. We appreciate you for listening to us where you are every Wednesday.
That's awesome.
Here, man. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. You ready to sign off?
Yeah. Let's do it. All right. We'll see you back next week on Champion Your Culture. Hi, friends. Thanks for joining us on Champion Your Culture podcast today.
We're so excited that you're here and want to invite you to connect with us. You can watch the show weekly on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or LinkedIn, and listen anywhere you get podcasts.
Subscribe today to get new relevant content each week on how to champion yourself and your team. Thanks again for listening to Champion Your Culture.